we'll go into a new topic called instances and schema. Now, instance and schema, you can think of it as similar to your types and variables in the programming language. Now, you will have something like int I comma j. Okay, I can take any integer value, j can also take any integer value. So this instance and schema, it is similar to your types and variables in the programming language. Now first, let's see, what do you mean by a schema? Now, schema is nothing but the logical structure of the database. Okay, you can think of it as int or char in your programming. Okay, the logical structure. Int means you can take only integers. The same way, even a database will have a logical structure. Imagine, as I told you earlier, you do have a student. Okay, you do have a student set where you'll have lots of details about students, and then you will even have a result or a marks which will have all the results of the students, and as I told you, they will be related. Now this particular thing, you call it to be the instance, or this is the structure. To be very specific, it can be called the structure of my database. That particular thing, you call it to be the schema, the logical structure of the database. Now, you do have two kind of schema, the logical schema and the physical schema. Now, physical schema, as we saw earlier, at the physical level, and logical schema is at the logical level. Now, let us see, what do you mean by an instance? Now, instance is nothing but the actual content. Now, let's say if I talk about student, I can have a student called Anne whose roll number is 100, okay, who comes from a place called Kozhikode. Now, at the particular time, my database, it has these things. Okay, my variables, int I is equal I comma j. I at a particular time, I can take the value of 10. The same way, this particular student schema at this particular instance is taking an 100 code. And when I talk about my result, I can say, and she's having a 2 mark, a 3 mark, and a 4 mark. And of course, they are related at the particular instance. The same way, I can have another student, let's say Remya, okay, whose ID is 101, and she comes from Kochi. And Remya can have marks like 3, 4, 5. These two are related. So at the particular point of time, what is the actual content of my schema or the database? You call it to be the instance. You can think of it as, your value of your variable. I is equal to 10. At a particular point of time, I is equal to 10. Sometime later down in my program, I will be having another value of I. I can take a value of 100. So, instance will go on changing, but schema, it will be constant for a period of time. Now, that is why you do have something called physical data independence. Now, physical data independence means the ability to modify the physical schema without changing the logical schema.